added to their lineup. So we'll see how he does. What these two players do.
Yeah. Let's see how this one goes. Down in the bottom left, our new addition to KT replacing Flash is jjakji.
The replacement. And up here in the top left, the red Zerg. One of the best, if not the best, so far for Legacy of the Void. It is Solar.
I can hear the nerds at home. Now Artos's Flash isn't replaceable. Merry Christmas, nerd.
Someone's going to make a post.
Yeah.
A really angry one. Link it to you.
Well,
that'll be your Christmas gift.
That'll be my thanks, guys.
You're like, I gotta block someone else again. Like, oh.
Like, yeah.
This affects my life.
This is my life. But yeah, I mean, jjakji, actually, it makes sense that he's doing reasonably well so far in Legacy, because he is a player that, when you think about his style, right, he's always been very good at like managing his units and tactical type plays. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. In the preseason preliminary, looks like jjakji only faced Protosses, won 3 out of 4 of those sets, and Solar was able to defeat Life, one of those preliminaries.
Yeah, pretty strong there. So, let's see, it looks like just a Reaper expand here for jjakji. In the meantime, Solar looks like he's just going to be getting probably quicker zergling speed here with his expansion. These are really, really common openings right now for these two, so no surprise here.
Yep. Sending over this SCV first. Is going to find the Zerg, sees the exact build that is coming down. And then we'll follow up with the pressure. This so far doesn't look really all too different from what we're used to.
Go for SC2 Cup Europe number 329.
Whoa.
That's a lot of Go for SC2 Cups. Like, it was, I remember it being around during the beta, but if there's one a week, the beta came out in the early, like, February 2010.
Yeah.
Is that enough weeks? There's 52 weeks in a year. You're smart.
5 years is 260.
How do they have that many cups then?
Radio silence for 10 seconds.
No, I mean, guys, listen.
Someone figure this out. Usually, when we can't figure things out, the
internet
call
can
out
let me
to
know.
the internet.
How could this
Please,
be, guys?
Help us out.
All right, my Protoss ponytail just lit up towards the end because I'm asking the nerds out there.
Not the other direction, because then you'd be sending the message, or you'd be receiving.
Exactly, you guys are receiving my Protoss message right now. But anyways, just I don't know how there'd be that many Go for SC2 Cups.
Maybe they did 2 a week for a while. Wasn't there like an NA and an EU one?
That's at Europe though. This is specifically Europe.
Oh, okay.
If it was like combined, I could live with that, but that's not the answer. Anyways, here we are in a game that's not an SC2 Cup. This is going to be what season of GSL? I don't know, like 30 something.
Yeah, I think it would have been fun if we did it by numbers, but then you have the problem with the Go for SC2 Cups where it's like, oh, it's number 376, and it's like, well, yeah, I won Go for SC2 Cup number 222. Do you remember me? It's like, no.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, well, do you remember who won GSL 25? It's like, no, but I know who won 2013 season 3.
Yeah, that's going to be much easier. You're right. Good call there.
I don't know. I think people have different thoughts about that. Like, if you talk to Wolf, I think he thinks the opposite way. I'm not 100% sure.
He's wrong. I'll let him know tomorrow. It's
I think he's listening.
You shouldn't do numbers. That's silly. You're wrong, Wolf. Stop being a dummy. So I don't even think that Brendan made that up. But yeah, I mean, it's. I wonder if there will ever be 300 GSLs.
Maybe someday. Yeah.
You know how old I'm going to be when we get that high? Oh my God. I'm going to be like about to die if we hit GSL 300.
Well, we're up to like 35 now, right?
Yeah. So we'd have to multiply the amount of time by 10.
How many years?
Oh, no, I'll
GSL?
still be alive, yeah. It's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
But we started out with like 4 or 5 a year. Now, this year is only like 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to be like 180 at this rate. All right, anyways, here we go. We have Cloak, Banshee, and Hellions here. Looking kind of like a normal old school game.
Yeah, you need a couple of those Banshees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, ranged attack.
One.
Ranged attack here from Solar. By the way, guys, if you want to learn about Legacy of the Void Zerg, this is definitely a Zerg that you should be watching.
I think
It's had
this
the most
is the
success.
Zerg to watch, in fact.
Agreed.
He's the guy on top of his game. He's winning everything. He's got the best builds. And seems like he's the most prepared for the expansion in general, or he was. So, yeah, definitely check him out. Tell your friends, your Zerg friends to watch this.
Yeah.
Tell your Terran friends to watch this. Tell your Protoss friends to watch this.
Ooh. Yeah, even the Protoss want to see this one.
Yeah.
Just seeing what Solar is going to do here, it looks like obviously he's going for like a heavy layer-based army, I would say. Probably Ravager Roach, which is, it can be quite a strong composition. Obviously, medevac drops are going to be like a reasonable type of counter to this because it's hard to actually chase those down. But, I mean, something like, for instance, this base is not going to go up if he does a full all-out attack. Like, right now, the type of army jjakji has should not be able to hold on against an all-out attack by Solar with Roach Ravager.
Look at how many tumors are going down there. Solar's not messing around. And this would be the perfect time for jjakji to get up there in front and try to put on some pressure, deny those creep tumors.
Yeah, and well, 4 active tumors do remain. He sees a lot of Ravagers actually being made, so this should cue him that an attack is on the way. Now, the double medevac coming out, this might force Solar to go back home because it's so many units, but it looks like he's actually moving some units over. He split some off.
I don't like this idea. It ties into what you were saying before about, you know, when they don't have the mutas out, you can go for drops like this, but if you're prepared even with just a small amount of roaches and you send the rest of your army to go attack, you're going to kill that third base. You're going to at least deny it for a very long time. Look at this.
And he does deny it, but look at this. The roaches take a while to get up there. I guess unloading this many Marines takes a while as well, though.
Yeah.
Going to go ahead and try to drop over here. We have that Spore and Queen actually doing some good work.
Seems like he's having trouble this time around. Roach is not in position. I hope he's still got some in the main. Doesn't look like he does, but jjakji just going to back off for now, it seems.
Yeah, now this is kind of the problem. Like, this is a very powerful unit composition, the Roach Ravager, especially early on here when you're not playing against things like siege tanks or liberators or anything like that. But, you know, this is the problem with it, is these medevacs flying around. And I've seen people deal with it different ways. Some people have tried to go corrupt with this. Some people have transitioned into a Mutalisk based composition like Mutaling Bane after going for this unit composition. I've even seen a few choice Zergs go for just a small amount, like maybe 3 Infestors to lock down those medevacs so Corrosive Vials can clear them out. So, but Solar's not doing that. He's just macroing Roach Ravager, and it looks like I think he wants to just go for the kill.
He just has so much stuff right now. He's maxed out. The upgraded Roaches into Ravagers are going to be just really strong in general. Just adding them into your army. And he looks like, once again, he's going to have trouble with just one small drop here. Brings the majority of his army back. Or actually, not the majority, just a decent amount back to deal with that.
Enough to deal with it. That's all he really needs. He doesn't need to crush the drop. He just needs to not take a ton of damage. And here we go. A lot of Corrosive Vials coming down. jjakji micros forward. Corrosive Vials all over the place. Tons of damage done here. No way he's going to hold right there.
Yeah, tanks are all the way back on top of the ramp here at the natural as well. Has to lift the orbital here, loses all the SCPs, and jjakji's desperately trying to hold this off, but having a very hard time of doing so.
Yeah, look at this. He is marching right up into this natural base area, and the Corrosive Vial countdowns just keep on coming, continuing to bomb all over the place. jjakji with a piddly army compared to what he's fighting against.
I think he just needs more tanks in this mix. He took way too much damage from the bios on the big clump of his bio there.
Continue to poke here and deal more damage. Solar does have 4th base. Nothing there mining yet, but just something to keep in mind. He can go ahead and mine there pretty soon. Here he goes, actually pushing back onto these siege tanks now, force them to be lifted. Actually gets one of them. Very strong move. Starting to shove up the ramp. The siege tanks are repositioned, but that's it. GG. All right, well, Solar just punching a hole through jjakji there. Oh, my God.
Well, this is kind of what I expected, to be honest. jjakji did not have a very memorable 2015 for Heart of the Swarm. He comes in here onto a new team. He's in a totally new environment. and he's still learning this stuff, whereas Solar is on top of the world right now for StarCraft 2. He makes it look incredibly easy, just making only Roach Ravager. I think he had +2. It's like very heavy ranged attack upgrades pretty early on, and I think he also had +1 armor with that as well, and he just makes Roach Ravager and kills the Terran. I mean, on that map in those positions, you can do that. They are relatively close. So
yeah, that was it was well done. I mean, it didn't look like it was anything too special. He's like, okay, I have enough drones. Now I make the Roaches and Ravagers, and now I go attack. And it's like, well, I mean, that was a very powerful attack when you look at it. And I think that maybe the hard part of that was him splitting his Roaches correctly, because the drops that jjakji did, they look like they should do some damage against someone going Roach, but he really negated all that damage very well.
There was the one drop at the third that delayed some mining time. He killed like 4 drones, but even then it wasn't enough damage for 2 medevacs to be back there. There was a lot of his army that wasn't there to defend the push that came right after that drop, and he was forced to lift that third base. He didn't really have a mining third base for quite a long time in that game.
Yeah, well, we'll see if jjakji can do a bit better here, but Solar definitely the favorite coming into this match.
6.
All right, in the bottom left, getting Shrek'd in that last game is jjakji.
And up here in the top right, the best Zerg so far, it is Solar up a game in the red.
Yeah. Again, wouldn't be too surprised if he ends up winning this season the way he's been playing lately.
Yeah, just looking very dominant so far, at least. Not having to deal with the ZVZ. I think he does have to go up against Deer next.
Oh, okay.
Just with the way that the brackets work out, right?
You could be right about that. I actually didn't check.
Because it just looks like a regular,
Deer looked great.
Bracket.
Deer looked really great, so that could be a good
Especially
match.
against Zerg, that's definitely one to watch.
They're the same team, though, which might make it like a little bit mind-gamey, but I don't know. I think we still had some good matches. Because the game is so new, I don't know if mind games work as well. Anyways, that would be a nice match, and I tell you, I would pay money to watch Zest versus Solar.
Yeah.
Or Hero versus Solar. Like, I'm loving the way Zest is approaching Legacy of the Void. He's not as good as Hero right now, and it seems like Hero has slightly better builds, but Zest's style is like, I enjoy. It tickles the funny bone in my brain.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense. That would be pain, but yeah. Anyways.
It's true. It definitely looks like he's got some fun stuff, but unfortunately he does get knocked out by Myungshik this time around.
Yeah.
Gonna have to wait for more other tournaments until we do see Zest a bit more. Did not make it into SSL.
Yeah, that's quite a shame. But you know what? I think that probably both these guys will be in Code S.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be kind of surprised if Zest doesn't get through Code A.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, Code A is really tough. If you get the wrong match, like one of the top 8 guys, ooh, it's a tough one. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. It's exactly the same opening.
Yep, nothing different so far.
Yeah.
This Reaper's getting a lot of damage. Not sure where the Queen is at. Still being made, it seems.
It's pretty decent work here with that Reaper. That Queen now, he's going to have to back up and let it heal up a bit.
Yeah, just making one Reaper here. Going to go into Hellions once again. As you said, nothing looking really different in this game. He is going to make a faster third command center this time around.
That was a nice catch on that Overlord for sure.
Oh, man.
Always fun to kill an Overlord early on. Very frustrating for the Zerg player. And this is where we kind of wait.
Yeah.
The economy building up phase for both players. Doesn't matter how many workers you start with. This matchup is basically going to look like this 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So it seems.
I'm very excited to see how ZVT is going to turn out. And, after all, like once the builds are totally figured out, because I think ZVT was the best matchup of Heart of the Swarm, and even Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, you could be right there.
PvT was also pretty fun for Wings, but
I liked in Heart of the Swarm at the end of it, I liked all the matchups pretty well. I liked it better before the Storm Host changes, but the only match I was kind of frustrated with was ZVZ, because like a lot of the time it was just roaches walking back and forth, someone taking like a dumb concave or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
You take one bad fight, you lose.
Yeah. But
who got a little bit more damage earlier on will have the advantage in the mid game, and it's not going to matter all that much.
Yeah. Well, right now, this is actually quite a nice scout, seeing that, in fact, Cloak is being upgraded there on that starport.
Yeah.
It's a very valuable scout.
Let's see if he sees the EBAs. I don't believe... Oh,
I think he saw one.
Yeah, I think he saw one. But is not going to see two. And the Liberator is coming out this time. I'm not sure. Did he cancel the Cloak?
He did, yeah. So, you know, the Overlord sees it. It's like maybe 50-50. Terran's canceled a lot of the time, and it was like not even far along, so I'm not surprised about that cancel. But let's watch this Liberator in action and see if, you know, Solar, or not Solar, but rather jjakji, knows about how to push the Liberator backwards from its liberation zone.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to think about with Liberators right now. That, as well as what we saw to TY on this exact map. Cutting it in half, making SimCity in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Using that Dusk Tower to cut it in half.
That Tower of Dusk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Dusk isn't not a noun like that.
Boy. That Banshee almost went down. Only getting 2 kills, not all that much damage.
And we do have that quick Spire. It is still on the way here. But of course, that means his upgrades are way far behind where jjakjis are going to be. You know, those Evos always going to come later when you're going for the very fast Mutalisk type tech.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, against like a Cloaked Banshee opening, the quick Mutalisk tech I think is a great choice. You just kind of like shut off all the harassment they could do, and it's going to be a while before jjakji has like a scary looking army. So we can see Solar, you know, he can focus on doing things like getting upgrades, spending on heavy tech units, and droning up, of course.
Today I learned that the attack for the Liberator is called Lexington Rockets.
Lexington Rockets.
Yeah, I
never would have ever known that. I will cast this game for 100 years and never would have looked at that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that the Observer hovered over it. I made a lot of Liberators in my time playing this game, but I didn't know what it was called until now. So there you guys have it. It's called Lexington Rockets.
Lexington, right?
Yeah, Lexington.
Okay. I'll try to use that. That's the anti-air, right?
Can you hover again? Can you hover
I would love for him to. I want to see what his what the ground attack is called. That's definitely not a Lexington rocket. I know what Lexington rockets look like.
Freedom Laser. I don't know what those things are.
Charged by the tears of Zerg and
every other race.
Protoss.
Well, 9 mutas out here going to do a nice bit of harass on this gas. Should be able to, well, nice repair coming down here, not going to kill the refinery.
Still a very annoying situation for him. And actually the Muta is walking back the wrong way. And it looks like the Lexington Rocket going to do some damage there to that Mutalisk.
Lexington Rocket.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. It's hard to say that quickly in the hype of the battle.
And they're still chasing. These Mutas got to be very careful. We do have Baneling Speed already finished, getting that +1 to everything right now, except air armor, I suppose, for the Zerg.
A lot of Speedlings out on the map right now. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to be thrown away too much. He's like keeping Solar busy right now, I guess, which is nice, but...
He's getting a pretty good trade against these lanes.
Yeah, he really is. By the way, 2-2 is going to be finished up pretty quickly here for jjakji, so he's really been on top of those upgrades. 1-1 just now finishing, so this is the small amount of time where Solar is actually going to have the same upgrades.
Big stand going down here, going to clean up a lot of these active tumors, and shut down that creep spread.
Well, that 4th base is up in mining. Can he get rid of it? This has really been something that we've seen the last week or so.
Yeah, but unfortunately he gets here before, like, after the Zerg is totally finished with, and look at that, the Widow Mines go forward, get all blown up, and now he's got no Widow Mines.
Yeah, and in fact, I believe his Hellbat's gone as well. It looks like he does try to do a counterattack here. Not going to be able to do anything, though. A little bit wasteful on that Marauder. A lot of speed banes. I just don't think he's going to be able to do this.
Well, really nice spread here from jjakji, and he cleans up all the banes except that small patch in the back, and he's got so many of these Marines left over, and they're very heavily upgraded.
Never mind, I take that back. He's doing actually a very good job. Some of them actually connect right there, but 3 Liberators here, way more units coming up as well. Looks like Solar's just putting all his eggs in one basket, in that counterattack basket.
Into the counterattack basket he goes, and it falls over. GG.
Yeah.
jjakji winning game number 2, staying in this one.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I mean, he had 2-2, which is actually very important. He had a pretty good unit composition, kind of interesting, keeping that many Liberators. Wasn't even putting him in Liberation mode.
Yeah, and really
Solar.
nice splits there with the attack. I think the defense from Solar was kind of lackluster as well. He didn't have the necessary upgrades either.
Yeah, he had a bunch of his units actually over on the other side trying to do counterattacks, but jjakji was very on top of watching that come in, making sure his depots were up when they needed to be, making sure his units were stimmed when they needed to be.
Yeah.
And Solar was able to
rally
find a way.
across the map as well. He bunched up a decent amount of units. He saw those units very early on, and he knew the Mitas were still out on the map with a small group of links, so he's like, okay, I could just wait here, have the majority of my army out pressuring the 4th, and just rally a decent amount of Marines and a couple of Liberators, and that will be definitely enough against that small of an army.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of surprising. I thought that, especially after that first game, but I guess first games can be deceiving, that Solar would be able to clean jjakji up, but jjakji playing quite well. Very good multitasking there as well. So let's see. We're going into our 3rd game. It's going to be on Prion Terraces. It's kind of...
Yeah, and jjakji's not playing Protoss, so he can't really take much from the trap game.
Yeah,
against
no,
Armani.
certainly not. But, you know, Reaper-type play can be very good here, especially if the Zerg tries to take that early gold. We've seen some great games from some of our other Terrans, kind of utilizing all the places that Reapers can jump up and jump down around that gold base. So, what is Solar going to do? Do you think he'll take the quick gold here?
I think he will. He definitely strikes me as that kind of guy. He could even just put on the pressure, go for some kind of 2-base pressure from the Zerg. But I wonder what jjakji's going to do. He doesn't really strike me as that kind of guy to go like Byung style, 5 racks Reaper, 3 racks Reaper first, and try to put on that huge amount of pressure with the Reapers. Don't recall seeing him do that in my time watching him. But it could be proven wrong here. Let's find out.
All right.
6.
Oh, well, there's always this. All right, in the top left, our Terran player showing a surprising amount of skill in that last game. It's jjakji.
And down here in the bottom right in the red, the Zerg player getting cheesed. It is Solar.
And that is double barracks on the way.
Oh, this Overlord might spot it. No, just barely not.
Yeah, skirting that Overlord. It's important.
Oh, but really early scout from Solar.
Indeed.
I like this a lot.
It's well hidden barracks, but, I think he'll be fine. It's not like he can send a drone over to cancel any of this or anything like that. And he's going to know immediately. He's going to look at that and say, okay, this is at least 1 proxy racks, and I think that Solar, as good as he is, he knows it's 2.
Yeah, and it seems like he was very prepared for this. Does not go for the gold, goes for his own natural, and is just going to try to defend it and go from there.
Well, you know what? This makes so much sense, because if you take the gold against a build like this when they're this close, between jumping up into the main base and hitting that gold, it's going to be so much harder to defend. But with this early drone scout, for just a small cost, he was able to put his hatchery in the right place. That gives him an advantage going into this.
Yeah, and jjakji is going to know that he has been scouted. Still going to go with the build, of course. You can't exactly go back on this once you've come this far. He's going to have 2 SCVs here. He could try to bunker, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. He could maybe put it over where the Reapers jump up or something like that. We've definitely seen that from time to time on this map. But he's so on top of this SCV, he's not going to let that happen easily. The Reaper is going to have to at least escort the SCV to be able to do it.
Yeah. There is the first bunker coming down on the edge of the creep. And already 1 drone getting to work. The Reaper jumping up, going to push away this drone.
All right. And does start throwing down his grenade. More and more Reapers on the way. A bunch of Lings. Oh, some nice micro here, actually, from jjakji right now. He's got to be careful. Does not want to lose a Reaper. That would actually be absolutely terrible for him.
Second Reaper coming in, going to push away these Lings. And that bunker getting very close to completing here.
Right, it looks like he is starting to pick off these Lings quicker and quicker. And in fact, a couple grenades does pick off a drone there or two. The three, actually, right now.
Oh, this control out of jjakji is just so good. He's picking off so many of these Lings, and just the continuous production of the Reapers coming up here. It's be harder and harder for Solar to deal with this.
Yeah, he's going to need that Zergling speed to finish. It's not even halfway done quite yet. This Queen is taking a lot of damage, and the Queen actually falls very quickly.
Yeah, not pushing the Lings forward to help out the Queen. Queen eating all of the damage, and now with 4 Reapers out here, he doesn't even really need to kite. He could just fight straight up against these Lings. Oh, really nice control there as well. Pulling back that weakened Reaper. And here come the grenades.
And a little bit of delay on the second and third grenade there, not getting as much as he wanted, but continuing to deal lots of damage. Another Queen does pop out. Speed is going to finish up pretty quickly here, but he's already done a lot of damage. And look at that. Oh, man, even killing a lot of larvae here, that's actually super painful. He needs as many Lings as he can get.
Yeah. And with 2 more Reapers about to pop, there's the speed. He's trying to get back to that bunker. Looks like 1 Reaper's going to go down.
Okay. Okay, that is a start at least. More Lings being produced. We actually have a counterattack going on right now that we aren't showing you, but I think it's just a handful of Lings at the
that
depots.
was a mistake.
Oh my god!
Ever so slightly too far forward, and he loses, I think, a couple of Reapers there. Here's the counterattack. Continuous repairs have to come out of jjakji to stop that.
Yeah, that might have actually taken his attention for a moment, which could have allowed that Reaper Shrine as well. We're not completely sure, but you know what? Solar's actually dealt with this quite well so far. He's way down in drones, which kind of sucks, but...
Oh, that was really close as well. Almost lets the Lings in.
Ling's going to hightail it out of here now with the Reapers coming back. But, you know, I would say overall this was pretty successful by jjakji, to be honest. Keeping that drone count so low, killing multiple Queens, killing like infinity Zerglings there, and forcing so many Zerglings out, which, will those Zerglings actually be able to do anything now, I think is a big part of the question here.
Almost getting a kill. That would have been something, I suppose. Scan comes down, he sees the damage. There's no Queen, there's barely any drones at the natural. Can reasonably assume that there is no other expansion right now. Can send out Reapers if he wants to go scouts as well, but he has to be careful. Definitely wants to keep them grouped up against a bunch of Lings with speed.
And look at this, 4 bunkers being created. I love this play. I am in. That's awesome to see the bunkers. Like, he's playing so safe. Now, here's the thing. He shouldn't be doing it. It would be much better if he didn't, but I love the thought process behind it, where he's like, okay, I feel like I did so much damage. I just got to make sure I don't die right now, because I think you're probably going to all-in me. You saw there's still a lot of speedlings. A lot of Zergs have chosen to do like all-in type of maneuvers against stuff like this.
Yeah, I think he thinks that a Painling and the bus is coming in. He's got so many of those buildings bunched up in the back with the bunkers really spread out. But beginning to realize that there is no kind of all-in coming in here. He scans again, sees that there are a lot more drones this time around at the natural, says, okay, you're going into lair, you're not going to all-in me yet.
Well, he has a lot of Reapers. He actually is kind of doing that Bjorn type thing. You know, it's not 5 racks right at the moment because like a couple of them are floating back still, but that's a lot of Reapers to deal with.
Yeah. I'd love to see a unit tab, see exactly how many. It looks like about 12, or maybe like 10.
Oh, and look at this, trying to flank, and it looks like he gets a couple of them.
Yeah,
actually, really well done there.
It's really hard to control all those Reapers and just make sure they all get out and then attack with the ones that jump down with that vision. But really nice surround there by Solar to catch 2 of them.
Yeah, Solar really has stabilized here. He's, you know, he's still behind as far as the worker count goes, and it's 2 base versus 2 base, so that's not good. But considering how much damage he took early on, he's kind of getting himself into a position where if jjakji makes a mistake, Solar might be able to capitalize and kill him.
Yeah. This is that moment in time we saw Beyond actually do this, where he sacrificed all of his Reapers at one point, and he killed like a ton of Lings and a bunch of drones and a couple of Queens, but then he lost the majority of his force, and then a counterattack came out of the Zerg. I forget who it was, and he just lost the game.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to watch out for. Oh, we do have that Roach speed as well as range attack on the way. He's taking that gold base that's over on the side. That's a lot less easy for jjakji to attack, considering the type of army that he has right now, especially. So that's like a really smart base for Solar to be taking.
Yeah. Nice timing on the scout here by jjakji. He's going to spot that third base getting up right now. He's going to know exactly how far along Solar is.
Well, let's see here. Just kind of sitting back very defensively right now as jjakji. Doesn't want to keep his Reapers on the map, and I kind of like what you said about how Byun messed up by losing them all. Like, the Reapers, any sort of all-in or crazy attack that comes, the Reapers can retreat very quickly, jump up walls. Grenades mess up those attacks very much, so kind of cool that he's being really hyper-careful with them.
Yeah. Look at his units, 11 Reapers, almost as many Reapers as Marines.
More Reapers than there are Roaches.
Yeah. Well, that link could have blocked, actually, to be really annoying, but either way.
Yeah, it does have that gold base.
Yeah, we have a second factory being made at the same time.
Yeah, he's not screwing around against this type of play anymore from Solar, it looks like. Like, the fact that Solar bowled him over on Lair Crest with so many Roaches and Ravagers, if you have a lot of siege tanks and you have a few medevacs to help micro them around against the Crossviles, then you're going to do a much better job at actually holding on against this.
Yeah. Oh, I like this small kind of counterattack coming into the gold. The Reaper's just slightly out of position, going to delay the mining time for a very long time. And here comes the attack. jjakji does spot this coming, and it looks like he's just going to back off for now. Yeah,
look at that. He just floats right away. He has the bunkers. He has some siege tanks on the high ground. This isn't going to do anything against him. In fact, Solar is already pulling back his army, realizing, oh, okay, if he pulled back like that, this is not going to... You can't walk up that hill. That is, like, so fortified.
And we see he takes a fourth base right away. Is he going to transition into any kind of higher tech, or is he going to stay on the Roach Ravager Ling for a very long time again? I think he's identified the fact that we do have lots of tanks coming out. I'm not sure, though, because you do have to be careful. Once that tank count gets really high, like 9 or 10, this kind of composition with this many Roaches is not going to do too well.
Yeah, it gets pretty scary, actually, especially if the Terran is very good at moving those medevacs and dodging those biles. So, look at this. We have the Reapers in the army. I've always wanted to see something like this.
He forgot combat shields. It's being...
You are correct about that.
It's being researched right now, 10 minutes into the game. That's like it's a Valdez move there. We do that from time to time.
Sure, absolutely.
That's quite unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
Either way, he's got the tanks.
Yeah. A little bit of a wasteful push right there. And now the unit's kind of out of position. We might see some damage done with those medevacs.
Especially to this fourth base. It seems like the units are coming back now. Some damage is going to be done. He's going to try to lift into the main, but waiting are a bunch of Ravagers. This is a cute little spot.
Well,
getting Overlord.
You know, this is going so much better for jjakji this game. Like, the Reaper opening definitely gave him an advantage, but beyond that, strategically, he's playing it much better than he played on Lair Crest, where he was dropping, but he wasn't backing up with lots of siege tanks or a fortified position. Here, he's, like, covered everywhere. He's looking great.
Oh, he's going to try to target down this hatchery. He should be able to get it with this many Marauders in the mix, and down it goes.
Yeah, and look at that.
No mutas there. He loses a couple of units and backs off.
Give me flashbacks of Drewby's Terran right there, but
look at
picking off that hatch, a big move, and now this drop in the main base, picking off whatever units are here right now. jjakji just tearing Solar apart in this. Like, Solar's not dead, guys. Like, he has 3 bases, one of which is a gold. He has good supply. It's just jjakji is in complete control here.
Yeah. Thankfully, Solar made that lair at the natural because he identified very early on that drops are very strong, going straight into the main base, and we already saw the main hatchery is about half health, so that could have been a lair that may have gone down. Either way, these drops are continuing.
Oh, man.
3 places right now.
jjakji is picking off absolutely everything. And look at this. It's only roaches being made right now. We are going to see a giant attack by Solar. I think he's realized that jjakji is outplaying him, and he needs to actually brute force his way through now. He has to go kill him. And jjakji, like, the place that he's in, I think he might be killed. It's a possibility.
He's only got 5 tanks as well. He stopped that tank production with the double factory. Here we go. Solar's going to try to break it in. He needs those corrosive piles on the tanks. Down they go. Really nice pickups by jjakji.
Yeah, but actually a bunch of the front ones do end up going down. He doesn't really have that many bunkers back here. Looks like another siege tank will end up falling to these corrosive piles. He's whittling this down slowly but surely. More roaches on the way. He needs those roaches to tank for him.
Yeah, lots of SCVs in the meantime have gone down at what looks like the 3rd base, and this attack does not stop. A big hit with the corrosive piles there.
Yeah, and he's got to back up once again. He needs roaches up here. Doesn't want to be tanking here. Otherwise, actually gets 2 hatcheries during all this. What?
Well, he missed that one. And that's going to leave Solar on pretty much only 1 mining base. He needs to focus down that command center, but a really nice repair to save it. And now jjakji is chasing down the rest of the Ravagers.
Man. Now we do have some roaches coming up, so he might be able to save a couple of these Ravagers, but more siege tanks just came down. He's in a much better position now with these siege tanks, and having killed both those gold bases, there's like nothing left for Solar here.
Yeah, he's going to lift up that command center, and now I think he's got... Oh, look at that, the drops with the tanks, but Solar wants to jump on top of this, maybe a little bit too far forward for jjakji, but he's got a lot of bio to support this, and it's going to be enough to hold off the attack.
And that's going to be it. Solar's going to have to tap out after this. There's no way. GG. And Solar knocked out again.
Oh, man.
Kind of crazy, because this guy's won everything. But to be fair, and the thing is, you might look and be like, wow, what's wrong with him? Hold on. jjakji is a GSL champion.
Yes.
Always been very good at multitasking, always been very good at dropping. His tactical play is very, very strong. These are things that really reward you in Legacy of the Void.
He played that map so well. You really got to hand it to jjakji there. I'm glad you're pointing out like why Solar lost there. It wasn't because Solar played all that badly. It's because jjakji outplayed him.
Yeah.
He was dropping at 3 locations at the same time. Under all the pressure that Solar put on him with that giant attack after the all the drops happened, he still dropped at 2 places and took out 2 hatcheries.
Yeah.
How do you even do that while
crazy.
microing the tanks, pulling them back? That's probably part of the reason why he lost some of those front tanks in that first engagement.
Absolutely, I think you're right about that, and that was worth it because that was like the nail in the coffin there. But guys, here is our list of upsets for today. Look at this craziness. Myungshik 2-0 Zest, Armani 2-1 Trap after losing the first game so badly. Deer 2-0 against Rogue. jjakji 2-1 against Solar, like the player who's won basically everything in Legacy of the Void. Crazy night of upsets.
When you list the players for today, I think you actually put like Zest, Trap, Rogue, Solar, and others, and it's like those are the 4 that died. Those are the 4 that went down. I'm not sure if this is a bit of Artosis curse coming into this, but it's beginning to line up in a strange way here.
It is. You are right about that. I mean, those are the big names, right? Those 4, and they all lost tonight. And it's not like all of them played bad. There was like some great games out of those sides, but really exciting stuff. And here is our matches for tomorrow, guys. We're going to do all of these matches. Hurricane against TY, Losira against Bunny, Myungshik against Armani, and Deer against jjakji. A great set of matches once again.
Yeah. I'd have to say the one I'm most excited for here probably is going to be Hurricane versus TY.
I was thinking that too.
Losira versus Bunny is also going to be fantastic. Losira outplayed Beyond. Beyond was like looking stuck in some like kind of beta builds almost.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Losira had him figured out. But Bunny is going to be a new challenge for him, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And you know what? Deer jjakji could be a nice one. Deer really stepped up his play tonight. Looked very, very strong. He's been doing pretty well overall, like he got in last week and whatnot. But jjakji really impressed me. Was he the player of the night, perhaps?
I mean, he took out the best Zerg in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, and he, like with real skill too.
Yeah.
Like he really
outplayed
outplayed.
the best Zerg of Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, it's
So
and I mean, yeah, you got that Reaper start, which is very powerful, but Solar like scouted and did the right things. I don't know. I think he played really well overall in the series. Like after game 1, he like picked it up. So
yeah, for sure.
it's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that, even though I'll be home, just relaxing for Christmas.
Enjoying Christmas, yeah.
I'll enjoy it with you guys as well. I'll
Have
make
some
sure
eggnog
to
while
tune in.
watching,
Yeah.
okay? But
That'll
yeah,
make it more fun.
It certainly will. And guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow as well. There's going to be another GSL, the round of 8, some great matches on Christmas Day. Thank you for watching us tonight and joining us on Christmas Eve. We love you.